Hey, how you doing, guys? It's Hurricane Joe back. I know it's been a while, but forgive me. Sometimes life intrudes and you do other things. But a couple of my really nice followers have been asking me to do an instructional video on some of the things that make Steve Clark unique. And you know what? Since I'm a big fan, I'm willing to do that. The first thing I wanted to talk about in this series would be about his chord usage. And one of the things that makes Steve Clark awesome is that he used both inversions and triads. Anytime someone tells you, especially during the Steve Clark era, that Def Leppard songs are easy to play, 9 times out of 10 they're not playing it right. It's far from that. He played chords in a different way. Joe Elliott has called it as a two-fingered style, and I'm here to show you a couple of things that made it different and make him unique. The first thing I want to talk about is an inversion. And basically an inversion is when you don't start with the root note of a chord, but you play the fifth in that sequence of the scale and then the root note, and it resolves to a root note, tongue-tied, and it turns out being the same chord. For instance, look at this C. Here's a power chord. We're starting with the 3rd fret and 3rd fret with the A string, and then on the 5th fret with the D string. That's a standard power chord. That's what most guitarists will play. But Steve would play, instead of playing that, he'd play it like this. Notice I'm not playing the root, but he's playing the G note first, and then the C note right here, which makes it an inversion. So it's the opposite of that. So the next question is, why would you do that? Well, when you do that, it helps you to reach other notes that you normally wouldn't reach. It's like I could play this C note with this note here, and he uses that a lot during like On Through the Night instead of playing this. Now, a good example of that, if we take this inversion and see what he does. Let's look at the famous lick of Let It Go. Those are all inversions. Notice this, that's the B inversion. Now if I try to play that lick here, B, there's no way for me to get that. See how much easier it is to bend when you have the 2 strings and you play it like that with a bar? If I try to do it with a standard power chord, I'd have to slide it. See how hard it is? Hard, almost impossible to get that. So that's one of the main reasons he did inversions, and it makes his chords unique. The cool part about that is when you start playing around with those inversions, you can get more and more interesting chords and riffs that are possible to get with the standard power chords. His most famous inversion would be, I think is the greatest lick of all time, Photograph. This is an E inversion. See? E power chord, E inversion, right? And watch this. Now he's ending it with a D inversion here, but Phil on the last notes plays an A triad. Triad! And that comes into the next chord that Steve uses a lot. A triad is basically your standard power chord that's usually played an octave up, but it also adds the octave of the root note. So say for instance want to play an E power chord, that's right here. That's too high on the fret for a lot of people if they want to do different things. You can find the E right here in the 2nd fret, and you play the E and the B and the octave of the E right here, and now you have a triad. So when you follow these down the guitar, you got E, F, G, A, B, and all these go, and they all go and give you different sounds basically on the power chords. So this E is a cool sound, but if I want something a little brighter, I play it like that. You see the difference? It's subtle. Matter of fact, you hear this all the time in Def Leppard's playing. For instance, Rock of Ages. What do you want? What do you want? You see that? Sorry if I'm out of key singing. But basically, he's playing an A and G power chord. Now imagine if I played it with a standard bar. See how that sounds different? But if you want to do something bright, you play those triads there. Now in a place where you can see where he uses them both together, to really add a flavor to his chord progression, look at the verse for Let It Go. So he plays triads and inversions there. So he's going A, cool woman, cool lights. He's playing a C inversion, then a G inversion, then a D. A G triad, I'm sorry, then a D. Now imagine if I had to play that with the standard power chords. See how that sounds different? This is so huge to the Def Leppard sound, using inversions of power chords, and you'll find for yourself in your own playing, it'll really help in your own songs if you do them. I think that's real cool what Steve does on that, and if you follow that out and learn the notes of the guitar, you'll be able to find your chords in different places on the neck and help you to reach different notes that you wouldn't use. And that's one of the things that makes Def Leppard real unique. So I hope this video helps you out a lot. I hope you guys like it. Appreciate all the support you gave me over the years. And next time I'll do another instructional video showing his lead work. Thanks a lot, it's Hurricane Joe.